Good morning. Welcome back to my 5th class today, and the topic that I'm going to start today is clause. A group of words that contain a subject and a verb is a clause. It is usually only a part of a sentence. Like for example, I eat banana in the kitchen. This is a group of words that gives a complete meaning, and there you can find a subject as well as a verb. And in this sentence, a group of words that can contain a subject and a verb is a clause. It is usually only a part of a sentence. So here in this sentence, I eat is a subject as well as a verb. Verb is a doing word, so eat here, eat is a doing word because it's doing something. So subject and verb is here in this sentence, so this becomes a clause. So these clauses are of two types, independent clause and dependent clause. So as I said, there are two types of clauses, independent clause and dependent clause. So independent clause is a independent clause, expresses a complete thought. Like for example, she ate a cheese roll. So this is a complete sentence and it gives a complete meaning. No need to add a second clause. It's just a first clause and it gives a complete meaning. She ate a cheese roll. So this is a independent clause. So dependent clause, it cannot stand on its own. It needs the support of another clause, supporting part of a sentence, and it cannot stand by itself. In dependent clause, it is dependent on the second clause. The first clause, like here in this example, you can see she ate a cheese roll. This is just a single one single clause, and it gives a complete meaning. This sentence, this example is not dependent on any other clauses. So this became an independent clause, and here in dependent clause, one clause takes help from the other clause. For example, independent clause, this is the place where my father graduated. So this is a first clause and this is a second clause. This is the place. Now which place is that? There is no meaning, there is no complete meaning in this sentence. So this sentence is dependent on another clause, and that is where my father graduated. So second clause, when it's added, then this sentence gives a complete meaning. So this first clause is dependent on the second clause. This is called a first clause and this is a second clause. So that is why they said supporting part of a sentence and it cannot stand by itself. So this is the place. Now this sentence cannot give us a complete meaning. So it took help from the second clause, that is where my father graduated. So after the first clause and second clause, we can see a complete meaning. Okay. So the next question is, how are clauses used in sentences? How can you use clause in a sentence? Clauses can play a variety of roles in a sentence. Like a clause can act as a noun, adjective or an adverb. I hope you know the definition of noun, adjective and adverb. So this clause, it acts in a different, or it acts as in a variety of roles in a form of a noun, adjective and adverb. So first we'll study about a noun. Noun clause. A noun clause is a clause that plays a role of a noun. Noun is a naming word. So like any other noun, a noun clause can be a subject, either an object or a complement. Okay, so just before this I told you how can a clause be used in a sentences? So likewise here I told you that it can be used in a form of a noun, adjective and adverb. So we already studied about noun clause. Okay. So here example. For example, a person who trusts no one cannot be trusted. So here, a person who trusts no one is a noun clause. Okay. So next we will study about an adjective clause. Adjective clause is a clause when we think of an adjective. When we think of an adjective, adjective means a describing word. We usually think of a single word used before a noun to modify its meaning. For example, tall building. So here, building is described with the word tall. This is an adjective. So tall building. Beautiful girl. So this is an adjective word. So when we think of an adjective, we usually think of a single word used before a noun. This is an adjective which is used in before a noun. Okay. Then to modify its meaning. Okay. Next point, adjective clause. However, an adjective can also come in the form of an adjective clause. Point number 2, an adjective clause will have the following traits. This way, a sentence can be framed according to an adjective clause. It will start with the relative pronoun. Relative pronoun means like the who, whose, that, which, or whom, or relative pronoun or relative adverb, why, when, or where. Example I'll give you. Okay, so I told you in an adjective clause, sentences starts either with relative pronoun or a relative adverb. For example, I told you where, when, how, that. So this is the examples that I've written here. The film which you recommend scared the kids half to death. So in this sentence, which you recommend, here this word which, it represents relative pronoun. Okay. So the film which you recommend scared the kids half to death. This is an example of adjective clause, and in this adjective clause the sentence starts with the relative pronoun, either relative pronoun or relative adverb. So in this sentence, the sentence has started with relative pronoun, and that is which. The film which you recommend scared the kids half to death. So this is a complete sentence of adjective clause. So next example is the carpets which you bought last year have gone moldy. So here is also a which. This is also a relative pronoun. And this sentence proves that it is an adjective clause. The carpet which you bought last year have gone moldy. This is how the sentence is, or this is how the sentence you present in a form of an adjective clause with the help of relative pronoun or relative adverb. Okay, so the next clause that will start is an adverb clause. We did with noun clause, we did with adjective clause, and this is the third clause, and that is adverb clause. Adverb clause. The definition of an adverb clause is, an adverb clause is a group of words which plays the role of an adverb. For example, he reached after the sunset. This is an adverb, and this made the sentence complete. Next, when she saw me, she ran towards me. So this is also an example of an adverb clause. So an adverb is a group of words. It's a group of words which plays the role of an adverb. He reached after the sunset. So here after became an adverb of clause. When she saw me, she ran towards me. So this is also an adverb clause. So this is all about an adverb clause. So these adverb clause are also of 6 types. Adverb of time, adverb of frequency, adverb of manner, adverb of condition. So we'll just go accordingly. Okay. So now we are going to study the types of adverb of clause. Okay. Number 1 is adverb of time. And this adverb of time, it indicates time. And when a sentence is presented, there the sentence often starts with as soon as, or before, after, etc. For example, he reached before. Okay, so adverb of time. Time, it specially indicates a time. It often starts with as soon as, before, or after. For example, he reached before the sunrise. So before is a adverb of time. So this is how you make a sentence. He reached before the sunrise. He reached after the sunrise. As soon as also you can use it. As soon as he came. As soon as he reached, the school was closed. So this way you can make a sentence with the help of this words given here. And this word, it proves that this is an adverb of time. So next is adverb of place. Now adverb of place, what is it? It is an adverb of place states where something happens. Where something happens and it often starts with anywhere, everywhere, wherever. Because this word, it represents a place. Okay, for example, okay. So, in this adverb of place, you often start a sentence with anywhere, everywhere and wherever. For example, I saw flower everywhere in the school compound. So, here a word everywhere is there. And this word, it represents an adverb of place. Okay. So, now number 3, we studied about an adverb of time, adverb of place, adverb of manner. Now we will start adverb of manner. An adverb of manner states how something is done. It often starts with as, like, the way. These are the words with the help you can start writing a sentence. For example, he acts like it is a joke. So here a word like is an adverb of manner. So he acts like it is a joke. So this adverb of manner is used in between this sentence to make this sentence a complete meaning. And this became an adverb of manner. Next is adverb of degree of comparison. An adverb of degree starts to what degree something is done. And this often starts with as to that to as, then, so to as. For example, so next sentence is, he is as smart as he is tall. as smart as. He is as smart as he is tall. So here this sentence it says is that he is very smart even though he is tall. For example, here you can see adverb of degree of comparison. An adverb of degree starts to what degree something is done. To what degree something is done. Here with the help of the adverb of comparison, you have used a word as smart as. Here it's making a comparison. Okay. So he is as smart as he is tall. Then this is an example of degree of comparison. Okay. So next types is adverb of concession. An adverb of concession offers a statement which contrasts with the main idea, and this often starts with a word like thou, although, while, etc. For example, though he is poor, he is always smartly dressed. Okay, so though he is poor, he is always smartly dressed. So here the sentence have started with though, and this though is an adverb of concession. And adverb of concession, and with the help of this word, the sentence which has been created, it proves that it has a contrast with the main idea. Though he is poor, he is always smartly dressed. So this sentence gives out the concession, or we can say a contrast with the main idea. Next is adverb of reason. An adverb of reason offers a reason for the main idea. Here in adverb of concession we have said contrast with the main idea, and here in adverb of reason we are saying reason for the main idea. And this sentence, and here in adverb of reason, the sentence usually starts with because, as, since. For example, he thinks he can get anything because he is smart. So in this sentence you find he thinks he can get anything because he is smart. So here you can find a word because. With the help of this because, the main, or we can say the reason is given. For example, he thinks he can get anything. Why? Because he is smart. He is smart is the reason of a main idea, for the main idea here. An adverb of reason offers a reason for the main idea. So this is the main reason for the idea, that he thinks he can get anything. And here the adverb of reason because is used. So today I taught you all clauses, their definition of a clause, example of a clause, and the types of clause. There are 3 types of clause: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. And this adverb clause, the adverb clause are of 6 types: and adverb of time, adverb of manner, adverb of place, adverb of concession, adverb of reason, and many more. So with the help of an example, I defined all the adverbs accordingly, and hope you all have understood. Please go through these videos and try to copy the notes in your notebooks and try to keep updated, because these are the very important topics for you all. And the rest, whatever the chapter I'm going to do, I'll let you know later on. Thank you.